All right. You want to be friends with your ex, because you're a good person. You want to keep things amicable, all this stuff. Why? Okay. Now I'm speaking to men now. I know females listen to me. You can listen still, but I'm speaking to the guys. Females are going to really reject this video, and that's okay. All right. We'll get into why later. But as a dude, listen, you have to understand that you have a biological drive to want to protect and provide resources for and take and care for the baby maker. All right? You used to stick your dick in this person, so now she is effectively one of your baby makers because our genetic imperative is to spread seed among all of the women in the world. So because you used to do that, you now have you were in a relationship with her and you had these ties to her, right? Internal ties, emotional ties to her. Now your biological need is to want to take care of her. That's something that a lot of guys want to ignore, that fact. This is why we get in trouble as men too, okay? Because you have to understand her biological need is not to take care of you. Men love idealistically, women love opportunistically. So once you have lost your utility as a man for them, okay, then they no longer care about your well-being. At least in a biological sense, okay? Their biological drive is not to care for you or give any shits about you once you've lost that utility, all right? So that could mean you broke up with her, and so you're no longer you're no longer her dude, right? So now you no longer have that utility for her, all right? Or it could mean that you're a beta male and that you've lost your utility in her mind that way. She can get utility elsewhere from a more dominant guy. Can mean a number of things or reasons, okay? But, for whatever reason you've lost that utility, she has no desire to take care of you. She does have a desire to continue to use you as a resource, however. And so if she is coming back to be your friend after a breakup, it's not because there is a utility that you serve for her in some way, shape, or form. That utility could simply be just social proof that she's a good person. You see what I mean? So that she doesn't look like a jerk in front of her peers or whatever, in peer groups. It could be because, you work together and she wants to keep it amicable. It could be because of mutual children. It could be because she needs validation from you and you're still her alpha. Okay, it could be because she wants you back. I mean, there's a number of reasons, but understand because of their opportunistic mating strategy, females are only friends with you after a breakup if they still want or need something from you. If you don't have any, it's not about you. It's not about caring about you. They don't care about your well-being. When you were with them in the relationship and you had utility for them, they cared about your well-being, okay? If they weren't like a cluster B narcissist or BPD or something. All right, but now that you're no longer in that relationship, unless there's utility left, they don't care about your well-being. Okay, so now, first of all, we're talking about maintaining a friendship where you have a genuine care about that other person's well-being because of your biological drive, and their biological drive is not to care about your well-being unless there's utility there. So we already have a fucking problem now, right, that you can see. Now let's look into thing number 2, which is hypergamy and cucking, okay? Excuse me. Women love cucking dudes, all right? Doesn't matter if you're beta, doesn't matter if you're alpha. It's like their favorite thing, all right? Now, I say that tongue-in-cheek, but it is because of hypergamous drives. Males don't have hypergamous drives, so get that one straight. Need to learn more about hypergamy? Jump into Rational Male by author Rollo Tomasi. Book 1 explains it really well. I've discussed it in detail in other videos. I've even broken up into categories about how their hindbrain vets out men using that hypergamous strategy. So women are hypergamous. So what this means is when they leave you, they have to believe that the next guy is better. Not in the way that guys think. We think, well, she's better for me, okay? And we're not constantly comparing left and right our exes. Unless, of course, we're still pining for that ex or whatever. But if we're over that ex, we're not even as sexually attracted to that ex like we are our current partner. Because, and all of your friends could say your ex is hotter and you just wouldn't give a shit. Because of our biological drive to take care of the baby maker, the new baby maker becomes a priority. Guys will get things like relationship goggles, you know what I mean, where they think their chick is super hot and they have genuine desire for that chick when maybe their peer group would say otherwise because they don't have that tie. So guys love idealistically and will have an idealistic love for that new chick, and they're not hypergamous. Females are constantly looking to level up. So if they don't convince themselves that the new guy, or even just guys that they're dating, are a level up from you, then they can't be happy, all right? Oftentimes, so what will often happen is their hindbrain driver doesn't lie to them, per se, in this respect. So they're not responding to the new guy in the same way. They know that the new guy isn't better. And by the way, the more alpha you are, the more this cucking thing becomes a thing after breakups, all right? Because they have to think that the new dude is better, even if he categorically is not. He could be a douchebag in every sense, and she has to tell herself he's better somehow. You know what I mean? So what she's going to do is she's going to look for proof. All right, some sort of proof, social proof that this dude is better. She's going to talk shit about you to her friends, for example. So her friends go, well, she's such a dick. Well, the new guy isn't like that. Isn't that wonderful? And then she can go, yay, I satisfied hypergamy. The guy I'm with is better, you know. Or she can look at hope like, well, you know, he doesn't fuck me as good as my ex did, but I can train him to fuck me better than my ex. So they'll look at that potential as thinking that dude is better. Or maybe the guy isn't as financially successful, but he bought her some stupid things. So she'll go, well, he bought me this stupid thing, and then she'll rationalize how maybe he'll be successful someday. You get where this is going, right? They have to cuck you. They have to. When they mate switch and move to another dude, especially if you're an alpha dude, and even if you're a beta dude, they're going to cuck you because women hate weak men and they hate beta men. And so they love letting a guy know that he's less. They love it. It's like their favorite thing to do. And so they have to know that in their own head. They have to, so they're going to do things to rationalize that. But even if you're alpha and you were her best option, it's even worse. Because now it didn't work out with that best option. She'll pine for you for the rest of her life, and every other fucking guy she sees will be in comparison to you. And in the beginning of those relationships, she will always be comparing them to you, and she will be trying to rationalize some way, shape, or form how that dude is better. Now, you're going to be friends with her though, right? So you're friends with her. What's she going to do? She's going to overtly cuck you. She's going to try to say things and do things in very subtle ways or in very overt ways to let you know that the dude she's with is a better man than you. Not in a way that would be healthy, like I'm just so happy with this person and whatever, where you could feel good about it and go, well, he's better for her. I'm glad she found happiness. No, she wants to try to bring you down and devalue you so she can feel like the dude that she's with is better. That's what cucking is, and that's what women love to do because they don't fucking care about you. Once you've lost your utility, she cared about you at one time when you had utility for her. Now the only utility you have is validation. So you being nice to her, caring about her well-being, seeing how she's doing, talking to her and all that shit validates her, makes her feel good inside, and then what she tries to do then is let you know by actions and words in some way, shape, or form, I'm with this better dude, even though he's not, and she's trying to devalue you, bring you down. It's not enough. If he legitimately is a more alpha better guy, you usually won't even hear about it, and she won't even talk to you because you won't have utility for her unless she wants to borrow money or unless you share a kid. You see what I'm saying? But there won't be a need for her to have a friendship with you when she's genuinely satisfied with the new person. When she's not, though, she wants that validation from you. This is what we call creating like a male orbiter. She wants her exes to orbit her so she can get validated by her exes, believe or hope that those exes still want her. And so she can say, but look at this prize that I have that's so much better than you. The guy could be a total piece of trash, you know what I mean, with a criminal record and in and out of employment and, you know, fucking no dick, no muscles. I mean, the guy could be everything that a chick wouldn't want. And she's still going to do that. All right. So here's the thing though. Here's the thing. I'm not going to be fucking friends with a guy that is in constant competition with me in a negative way, who's going to try to drag me down and do subtle things or overt things or things behind my back to try to make me question myself or make me try to feel less. That's not supporting my success. That's not being supportive for me to do well, to try to make me feel bad or like shit over something else, or to try to make me feel less, to make themselves feel more. I wouldn't be friends with a dude who would do that. Well, a female who is going to cuck you, which is every single one, by the way, after a breakup, is going to do that, okay? That is what they're doing but they're doing it with the guy that they're with or the new potential, not necessarily with themselves, right? But it's the same effect. So that is toxic. And I recommend that you don't put your energy into toxic relationships, be it friendships, previous exes, or current lovers, okay? That you don't do that, all right? Now, there are situations where relationships with exes can be very amicable and very good and very healthy. That doesn't happen because of the woman usually, all right? Now, there are certain exceptions. Some of you women are a little bit more evolved and more self-aware, and you are aware of this fact. You're still going to cuck in your head, and hypergamy still exists, but you're going to control it a little bit better and realize kind of what you're doing and maybe not create such a negative atmosphere for somebody else. You might realize that that's not serving you as well too, right? There are some females who are woke, right? But majority no. Majority of guys know either, right? Like most people are not very fucking self-aware. So as a male, the only way that friendship can work is if you set clear boundaries so that she can't overtly try to drag you, bring you down. And generally speaking, it's best not to be friends with them at all. Okay? Doesn't mean you don't care about them. Doesn't mean you don't want them to do well. You don't want their success. But if you are friends with them overtly, you're doing it because you feel bad for them and you drive to want to see that, them to be okay. You drive to protect them is there. And all they're going to do is trash you and throw that away. Your idealism of having this great thing with her is not the same idealism that she has with you, because women and men don't love the same, and they are opportunistic. All right, so don't be friends with anybody who's only using you for utility at that point and is only in contact with you because you serve a utility for them, and they really don't care about your overall well-being, despite what they say in front of everybody else and despite what they rationalize, so that they don't feel like a bad person and so that they're socially accepted, okay, by other people, because this is not very socially acceptable. They're just not going to have that drive to be friends with you, care about you for you, without the utility that you serve. So right there, why be friends with that? But then on top of that, why be friends with somebody who is going to overtly try to drag you down, right? And they're going to do it through cucking, which is there every time because of hypergamy. So why would you put yourself in that scenario? So better, don't be friends with her, okay? If you might share kids though, you might share social circles, you might work together, or maybe you just have a ties with that person and good experiences, and you think that you can, have a healthy interaction with them. That's fine. Just take it with a grain of salt and set clear boundaries. All right? They are not your friend. They don't get your emotions anymore. Okay? They don't get that part of you anymore that they used to get when you were with them. All right? Doesn't mean you can't be nice to them. Doesn't mean you can't, see them in public and how's everything and whatever. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean you can't check in on each other every now and then and hope each other does well. Those are fine. Those are healthy things. But understand, she doesn't get every part of you that you gave her in a relationship. Because if you give her those things, she will abuse it. Even the most healthy female in the world will abuse it. And if she is if she is the most healthy female in the world and she's self-aware, she won't want to accept those parts of you. She'll say, you know what, we're not really together. I don't want to get into that stuff. You know what I mean? She'll set the boundary. All right. But you don't want, this person that you trusted and that you idealistically think you can still trust, you no longer can trust, because you serve no utility from a relationship standpoint anymore. And so you really don't serve a utility for her anymore in a way that she would care about your well-being. All right. So that's the truth about friendships, is that you got to take that with exes. You have to take them all with a grain of salt. Better not to have them at all, but your friend, you're not really friends with your ex, okay? It's a different dynamic, all right? And there are other reasons it's different too, but this is one main reason. So men, you got to protect yourselves, because a lot of you men that I talk to get into these situations with your exes and you're still looking for that validation from them. You're still looking for some sort of closure or good outcome, and her only interest is to use you up and make you feel like less of a man. All right, by cucking you. Okay, so thanks for tuning in. Smash the like button, subscribe. This is a controversial topic. If you don't agree, challenge me on it. I would love to hear your challenges. Okay, share, and we got to protect ourselves, everybody. All right, so thanks for listening. And again, subscribers is how I can continue to do this. So please spread the word. And that's it. So signing out here from a combat zone, taking my time to talk to you good people. Thanks again.